Us now is Pat Moorhead, CEO, Chief Analyst of More Insight and Strategy. Pat, welcome. So client computing came in a little stronger than the midpoint of consensus for Q4. PCs overall, data center just about in line. But the question is the inventory thing? I mean, that's what I wonder. Is the inventory thing still an issue? What's the problem with this guide?
Yeah, so John, a couple things are going on. You know, the core business, right? Low end of seasonality. You've got $1 billion of headwinds from areas that were typically contributors, like Mobileye, the 5G telco business, even FPGA. But on the server side, it's an interesting thing going on. There's so much demand for GPUs that the big cloud guys sometimes will just upgrade the GPU. And not the full server. And there are some GPU-based servers that can't ship because they can't get GPUs. And then there's this ever-present challenge from AMD. So all of those elements combined lead to a disappointing Q1 forecast.
So is this a disappointing from an operational perspective? Or is this Intel getting caught in kind of the vagaries of GPU demand? And for an investor who's betting on whether or not they think Pat Gelsinger is going to pull off this turnaround, does this quarter, based on the numbers we see thus far, pose a problem?
I think it just depends on the variability of the patience of the investor. I mean, if I look at Intel, I mean, they hit their $3 billion OPEX goal. Their gross margins were up 3% sequentially, 6.5% year on year, on track, 5 nodes in 4 years. And if I look at 2024, Intel 3 looks to be on track, 20 angstrom with Arrow Lake on track, 18A, brand new second half servers. You got Panther Lake PC after that. Yeah, I mean, I think the company's been doing an incredible amount of change. And day one, when Pat Gelsinger walked in, he made the big commitment of 5 nodes in 4 years. Intel is sticking to that. I do believe this is a temporary speed bump, and back to bumps that weren't expected, that are market inflicted, not company inflicted, like Mobileye, 5G telco business, FPGAs. All those businesses are down from a market perspective.
Okay, so I guess that's a big part of my question. So on the call, what should investors listen for to make sure that whole story still checks out? Yes, longer term, those commitments, 5 nodes in 4 years, et cetera, on track. Of course, they have this announcement today of the older process technology partnership that's going to, on the foundry side, give them access to additional capacity. What are the questions about Intel's readiness that investors should listen for, just in case there's some other problem in there?
Yeah, so we talked about process and technology, and they were very overt. They put that right in their press release. So we have a good idea, but drilling down, I think investors should know about a potential supercycle coming up in the third or fourth quarter with AI PCs, and what's the meaning of that, and how competitive are they versus AMD and then Qualcomm, and then the follow-ons to Sapphire Rapids on the data center side, how they think they're going to play in. And then finally, something that's been a drag on the stock compared to, let's say, NVIDIA and AMD is, when will we see some more meaningful, I mean, revenues for Gaudi, their data center accelerators, are meaningful, but when will we see a force multiplier, maybe similar to the multiple, I think AMD will probably do $10 billion in AI accelerators. When does that start to kick in? Right now, we know what's going to happen in 2025. There's a data center GPU coming out, but what can Intel do in 2024 with their accelerator non-GPU called Gaudi 3?
I want to go back. You just mentioned Supercycle for AI computers.
Right.
Do you really think we're going to get a Supercycle? And if so, is it a tide that lifts all boats, a rising tide that lifts all boats, or is this one for Intel to really win?
So I think it is a tide that's going to raise all the PC makers, Qualcomm, AMD, and Intel. And I think you're going to start to see most of the action in the middle of the year kicking in when Qualcomm announces their new or they ship their new product. I think Intel, though, in the first half is setting the stage to raise all boats in this. And I think AMD is in the mix as well. I've been in the industry over 30 years, and with these AI PCs, not the ones we see today, but the ones that I know are coming up, will be the biggest shift in PC computing probably since the age of internet connectivity or thin and light notebooks. It's going to be super exciting.